welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first year of university experience. This is the first video of my university series. I saw one of the YouTubers that I watched do a series like this a few years ago, so I thought since I am currently just about to finish university in the next 4 to 8 months, I would start this series for the summer before university. It is still July, I realize that, but I'm just going to be starting this series now, so people that are going into university for the first time or are nervous, had a bad experience and are nervous about going back to university can watch these videos, and hopefully they give you insight, maybe they even help a little bit, whatever the case may be. So this is going to be the first video of this series, and I am going to try and post this series every single Wednesday for probably the next month and a half, something like that. So if you guys like these kind of videos, be sure to come back every Wednesday and check them out. And yeah, let's just go right into this video. Before I actually start this video, I just want to say everybody's experience is going to be different. Just because I had a bad experience my first year of university doesn't mean you're going to have a bad experience. Everybody's experience is going to vary from university to university, from course to course, and from person to person. So just because I had a bad experience does not mean you're going to have a bad experience. So I'm just sharing my story in case there's other people who have had bad experiences, or in case you are about to go into your first year of university and you stumble across this video and you're having a bad first year experience. So yeah, just to get that out of the way, just because I had a bad experience does not mean you're going to, or does not mean you had a bad experience. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a backstory, a little back history to my situation and I guess just my basic situation. I picked the university I went to for first year. I no longer go to the school, but I picked that university because it was the university that made the greatest impact. This university gave the best impression at the career fair that we were made to go to when I was in grade 11. My brother also went to this university and he liked it, and he is not a city kid, but he liked this university, and I don't think he minded the city. So it was just two positive aspects of this school. I did go knowing that I was going to start off without having very many friends, but I just kept telling myself that I needed to do this for me. It was the school that I thought was going to be the better option for me because it was the school that I liked most during the information sessions at this career fair. There is only 2 universities in my province, and most people stay in province for university if they go at all. So I went to the less popular university for first year, and my friends, if they went to university, everyone except one of them went to the most popular one in our province. I kept telling myself, even before I went to the school, like, this is the better option for you, this is the one you liked more, you have to do this for you, you can't just follow your friends. I kept telling myself all these kind of different things, and in the end I was wrong. I didn't like my situation at all, but we'll get into all of that. And just more back history, I'm a very shy, quiet person, and I went to this knowing one friend from high school, one friend from Facebook, and then my brother. I knew a total of 4 people that I would talk to if I saw them around, and because of being shy, I don't make friends very easily, and social situations are very uncomfortable for me if I am alone. More of the situation setting that I was in. I ended up living off campus in a 2-bedroom apartment with my brother, when my original plan for first year university, I expected to be living on campus in what we call residence, or I think the states call them dorms, but it's our residence. It was a 4-bedroom apartment. I was expecting to be living on campus in this 4-bedroom apartment with 3 other girls, with the intent of being friends with them. Obviously, I didn't know any of them going in, but I ended up living off campus with my brother. That being said, my brother was never ever home. He gets up at like 7 in the morning, goes right to school, and doesn't come home till 8, and then till 8 or 9, and then goes right to bed, and then repeat. So like, I never saw him. It was basically like I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. For me, living on my own wasn't the problem. Both my parents worked growing up, so I knew how to cook, I knew how to clean. I've been doing my own laundry since I was 14 or 15, so for me that wasn't an issue. Now getting into the friends portion of this video. Throughout the 8 months I went to this school, I made no friends. I made one acquaintance that was my physics lab partner, and I didn't talk to her outside of class, so she really wasn't even like an acquaintance. She was just my partner. And then I had one friend from high school going to the same school and one friend from Facebook that was going to the same school. I did try to get involved. I went to orientation, I went to welcome week, I joined a rec hockey team, and I still just made no friends. I barely ever went out, and when I say that, I mean like to the movies, hanging out with friends, whatever. I was underage, so I couldn't go out. Anyway, I usually ended up going home on weekends because I just wanted to get out of the city, wanted to get away from the school, everything like that. And I tended to go home as soon as I could. Right after class, I would have my car packed so I could go home. And like I said, this university was 3 hours away from where I grew up and where my parents lived. So I made many trips at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. just because I wanted to get home that badly. Going off of that, I did get a little bit homesick, which I was not expecting. I missed my friends because I had none where I was living. I missed my family, I missed my parents, because I hadn't been away from home for longer than 1 week, and I was living 3 hours away, so it was just like a little bit of homesickness mixed in. I think I had it better off than some people because I did live with my brother. Even though I didn't see him very often, I still had that family comfort there for me if I needed it. And so yeah, a little bit of homesickness was present, but it wasn't as bad. It was more than I was expecting, but I wasn't as bad as some people during their first year. During classes, I tended to see, and I still tend to see, people talking to people that they don't know. They socialize, they make friends within the classes. For me, nobody ever talked to me, so I never made friends in my classes, which was kind of strange, and it made me feel bad about myself because I was like, what's wrong with me? Why won't people talk to me, but they'll talk to everybody else? So it was just kind of like that, and like I said, I'm very shy and quiet, so I never had the courage to talk to people in my classes, and nobody ever talked to me. When people talk to me, I am good at responding and having a conversation, but I can't start conversations like that with people I don't know, and nobody ever started them with me, so I never made any friends in any of my classes. This is where I really started to have anxiety for, like, not the first time, but for the first time, like, seriously having anxiety. I hated my situation, and it was a huge life change for me, and I was very uncomfortable with my life at that point. I was just very uncomfortable. I would phone my mom crying before tests. I would phone my mom crying if I was in an upset mood, if I had a bad day or whatever. I would just phone my mom crying all the time because I was just so unhappy. So yeah, anxiety was very present that year, which just made my situation that much worse. As for the academic aspect, this definitely did not help my situation at all. Everyone told us when I was in high school that university is much harder than high school, and they were right. If you're in high school, you have it very good and enjoy it while it lasts, even though high school was a whole different situation that I could do a video on because high school sucks. But the tests, the situations, everything like that is 10 times better in high school, so just know that university is a whole different ball game. I also realized I am not the smartest human being. So after the first month, I decided that my first year was going to be a year just to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and figure out what I liked in school. And newsflash, I didn't like anything. I've always hated school. I hated school then. I hate school now. Like I just mentioned, I am not the smartest person when it comes to being book smart. I was also having very bad anxiety, so my marks were shit. And when I say shit, I mean like really bad. And the one thing with that is that I felt very alone with having my terrible marks. My dad kept trying to tell me that a lot of people struggle during their first year of university, but I just never believed him, and honestly, I still really kind of don't. I don't think a lot of people do struggle. And I find it kind of funny. I graduated high school with about 100-ish people. I think there was 104, 105 people that I graduated high school with. Out of that 100-ish people, about 10 went to this university, and out of those 10, only about 4 of them went back to the school, for second year. That first year, I ended up wasting a lot of money because I didn't like my first year and I didn't like that situation. And honestly, it really wasn't the school and it wasn't the city, it just was the overall unhappiness, and there was clearly something going on. I don't know what I didn't like specifically. I don't like school, but it wasn't that university's fault. And I just wasn't happy there. So for second year, I basically started over. I switched schools. I only 2 classes transferred over out of 8 that I took. So I was basically starting from scratch. By the end of second year, I had the equivalent of 1 year of university because I do only take 8 classes during the 2 semesters. So when a full year is 10 classes and I only take 8, like I said, only 2 of the classes got transferred. So by the end of second year, I had the equivalent of 1 year. So I literally started over. I'm now behind because I switched the schools. I am behind because I didn't like my situation, whatever the case may be. So overall, my whole first year of university was terrible. I honestly didn't know if I was going to go back. I didn't know if I was going to go to university anymore. I definitely knew I didn't want to go back to that school and to that city. Like I had mentioned though, it wasn't the school's fault, it wasn't the city's fault. There was really nothing wrong with either of those. I can't really pinpoint what exactly the problem was, but I just hated my life there, and yeah, like I was just so upset. But so that was my honest first year experience. It was terrible. I'm surprised I went back because I still don't like school, but yeah, so I hope this helped. I hope somebody relates out there. I did watch one other video. Finding videos like this was very hard to find. Like most of them are from the UK and I'm from Canada, so if you're from Canada looking for a first year university experience, here you go. And yeah, so that's it for today's video. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.